What's going on, everyone? Today we are taking a look at the Dreame AirPursue PM20. This is the world's first AI-powered tracking air purifier, which also has a built-in heater, fan, and many other features as well. So if you happen to be shopping for an air purifier, stick around and I'll be going over everything that makes this one of the best ones on the market. So taking a look at the air purifier itself, this is definitely a very nice and premium looking device. As you can see, you have this very nice gold color here at the bottom with the filter vents all around the entire thing. And then right here up top, you have this big old dome and all of the air comes out right here at the sides. You have a screen readout here in the middle. And just so you can see what it looks like from the side. Again, definitely a very nice looking unit. So one of the things you might first notice is how large this air purifier is. It's definitely one of the bigger air purifiers on the market. As you can see, it's my hand right there, and you can see there's quite a lot of space beyond my hand. But this is a whole home air purifier. So compared to a smaller unit, this is going to be able to purify air a whole lot quicker because all of this here in the bottom is a filter. So because of its larger size, it's going to be able to pull in a whole lot more air and purify it much quicker. You could think of it kind of like a water pipe. If you have a small pipe, it's going to take a long time to pass water through that small section. But once you make that pipe a lot quicker, that's where you're going to get a larger volume through in a shorter amount of time. So yes, it is on the larger side, but if you want quicker whole home purification, this is definitely going to be the way to go. One thing I'll point out is the size is kind of an illusion as well. As you can see, I have a regular household fan, and the base of it is actually very similar to the size of the air purifier. So in reality, while this looks bigger, this is only going to take about the same floor space as a regular household fan. Coming to the front here, they do include a remote control, and what's cool about this is this has a magnetic mount. So when you're not using it, you just latch it on like that, and it's conveniently stored right there so you always know where it is. Again, when you want to use it, just take it off like that. And as you can see, this has all your controls for the air purifier, including fan speed, temperature, different oscillation modes, and a few other things as well. And besides the remote control, you can also control this by voice and app connectivity, which I'll go over later in the video. Last but not least, this does have hidden wheels at the bottom. So even though it's on tile floor, as you can see, it's very easy to move and roll around. So despite its size, you can easily roll it around room from room in your house. And as you can see, even though I have tile floors here, it is moving around, no problem. All right, so this is a 3-in-1 unit. This has an air purifier, heater, and air circulator. So having all of these features lets you use this across the entire year. You can use it to purify the air and get rid of pollen and allergies in the spring, use it to cool in the summer, and then use it to heat in the winter. So this is not something you ever need to store away. And on top of that, you also get the benefit of replacing 3 machines with just this one here. Coming to the center here of the large dome, you have a real-time display. It's a little hard to see on camera because there's a glossy surface here, but in person it is very visible. And then right down here in the front, you have 2 buttons. You have a power button and then another button here to cycle through the different options on the screen. So you have different meters here that show your different readouts for your different air pollutions and things in the air. So this is going to monitor all of that in real time. All you got to do is click on the button and you can cycle through all of that. And then you also have your temperature and room humidity as well. And last but not least, you also have the life of your filters. And right here, this is your overall air quality. All right, so as I said earlier, this is the world's first AI-powered tracking air purifier. And this uses what's called Enviro technology to track and move with you across the room. So this way, wherever you are in the room, all the heat and purified air is going to point toward your area. So you're getting a very good air quality toward you instead of waiting for it to purify the entire room. So right now I have this on, and as I move around, it's going to sense where I'm at and put the air toward me. As you can see, definitely works very well. Let's try that again. Moving over here. And as you can see, it's now going to bring the air this way as well. I have it off right now because I have it in auto mode. In auto mode, it's going to turn on and off depending on the air quality. So right now, my air quality is great. So that's why it's not running. But if it detects that the air quality gets bad, whether that be smoke, pollen, or whatever else it detects, that's when it'll automatically turn on and then put that to track me across the room as well. Besides tracking a single person, this also has the ability to detect more than one person. So if I'm standing here and another person is over there, it'll oscillate between the two areas to get the purified air to our areas. So definitely very cool technology to give you a pure air experience without having to wait for it to purify the whole entire room. Or in some cases, that's not possible. Maybe the air quality is very bad. Maybe you're cooking, but having this mode is always going to make sure you get that nice and clean air pointed in your direction. So inside this unit, it actually has 7 smart sensors which can precisely detect several different things, including PM2.5, PM10, formaldehyde, TVOC, temperature, and humidity. And this is a real-time sensor, so besides showing the information on the front screen, if you set this in auto, like I just said, it will automatically adjust its settings to give you the best purification possible. So if the air is cleaner, it'll run lower. Then if it's medium to bad, that's where it'll kick up and work on a higher setting to give you a more efficient air purification. Once again, when it's set on auto, the machine can automatically turn itself on if it detects your air needs to be clean. So definitely a very useful feature that pretty much lets the air purifier manage itself. So coming to the bottom, this is where your actual purification happens, and this has a 4-layer purification system which can eliminate both air pollution and airborne bacterial viruses. It is quite a long list of everything it can purify and eliminate, so I'll go ahead and throw those up on the screen so you can see what they all are as well. So when it comes to purification, this removes 99.99% of harmful particles, including allergens and VOCs. So first off, the magnetic housing which goes around the entire unit works as a filter as well, and this captures debris, hair, and larger particles. And to pop this off, you have this little area here where you can pull on it, and then the front and back will pop off just like that. And that's what it looks like with the panels off. As you can see, we have filters that wrap around the whole entire bottom of the air purifier. And up next right here, we have a H13 high efficiency composite filter, and this can filter coronavirus, dust, pollen, mold, and other particles as small as 0.1 microns. And to pull out the filter, you just pull on a little tab right there, and that pulls out the entire thing. Next, right here in back, we have the carbon layer, which absorbs toluene, TVOC, formaldehyde, and other harmful volatile gases. And last but not least, we also have the formaldehyde catafilter, which fights formaldehyde for safe breathing in your house. So like I said earlier, this is definitely a very large unit that can filter a lot of air very quickly. So as you can see, these filters are absolutely massive, and you got 2 of them, so that makes a big circle just like that. In comparison, right here, I have a filter for a smaller air purifier that I have, and as you can see, that is quite the difference in size. Like I said earlier, this is going to take a long time to purify air because all that air has to come through here, and it can only pull in so much at a time. But this is just absolutely massive. As you can see, it just dwarfs that tiny filter. So you're gonna get a whole lot better and a whole lot quicker air purification with this unit. I really like that this has the filters toward the bottom, as this gives it a good separation between the air coming out and the air coming in. I've used some air purifiers where the intake filter is somewhere like up here and then the air comes out here. I feel like that's not very efficient because the air being pulled in is too close to the air being pulling out. So that's kind of wasting time and not purifying properly. This one is pulling all the air in from the bottom and then blasting it out from the top. So you're always getting a good separation of air coming in and air coming out. It's kind of just making a circle and purifying in a more efficient manner. When it comes to air purifiers, filters are definitely the most important aspect. It doesn't matter if the air purifier is made of gold or has all kinds of gimmicky features. How well it filters really depends on the actual filters inside. I've seen some cheaper air purifiers that only use one cheap filter. So if you're gonna buy an air purifier, definitely make sure you get one like this one that has the proper filters to actually filter your air. I've been using this air purifier for about a month now, and this is definitely a very effective unit. I usually leave it in the kitchen, and I use it a lot to get rid of cooking smells. Without the air purifier, I typically have to open a door or window, and even then it still takes quite a long time to air out. But with this, the smell is definitely gone a whole lot faster. Overall, this is gonna be great at removing pollen, smoke, pet odors, kitchen fumes, and a lot more. or even if your air seems good enough to begin with, just standing in front of this, you can really smell and feel how much purer the air really is. As I said earlier, definitely a very good unit. Another feature this has is their dual flow modulation technology. So this can output air right here all around the front portion, which does disperse it very well. As you can see, it's kind of a cone shape. So instead of blasting forward only one direction, this is going downward to the left over here, just a big circle that's pushing out to circulate around the room much quicker. And then besides the front portion, all around the head here, you also have another output. So it outputs a big cone area going to the direction of the head, and it also outputs here. And this reflects off the larger circle area. So this is dispersing that way, dispersing this way, dispersing that way. So like I said earlier, definitely a well-designed unit. It's putting a lot of air that way and also upward as well to purify all around it instead of only in one direction. Looking at the specs, it says this gives you a 33% faster full room purification, which delivers 400 cubic meters of purified air in only 1 hour. So compared to most other air purifiers, this is going to be able to purify your air a lot faster. And on the high, this can project air up to 32 feet away and cover up to 8,450 square feet. One other thing I really like about this unit is the air doesn't feel strong or disturbing. Even on the higher setting, this comes across the room more like a breeze thanks to the thin dispersed design. So for example, right here I have a regular fan. And as you can see, this whole entire area here blows air toward you. So if you had this pointing at you, you're going to get a big gust of air. And sometimes that could be a little disturbing for me. It could blow around papers or you just have too much air pointing at you. On the Dreame unit, all the air comes out of this small channel here. So it is still strong air, but since it's dispersed, it's not hitting you all at once. And instead it's making more of a hollow tunnel effect where the air is around you instead of just blasting at one area. So you still get the same cooling effect and air purification, but again, it's just not forceful and disturbing in any way. And last but not least, this machine is also very quiet as well. On low, it's only 32 decibels, so you can easily have this on throughout the day without feeling interrupted. And thanks to how quiet it really is, you can even sleep next to it and barely notice it's there. I almost forgot to mention, besides auto, AI, and pet mode, this also has a few manual oscillations. So you have 45 degrees, 90 degrees, and 180 degrees. This is more oscillation that I've seen on most fans. And most other fans only have one setting. It just isolates across where it wants to go. This one, very programmable. As you can see, it goes all the way to one side and then all the way to the other side. So it's a full half circle. So if you have this in a corner or by a wall, it's going to go ahead and disperse that very good around the entire room. And then of course, you could also just leave it stationary and turn that oscillation off. As I said earlier, this also has a built-in heater, and this can heat up very quickly to 104 degrees in only 3 seconds. I just turned this on, and just like it advertises, it goes from cool air to nice and hot air very quickly. Another thing I love about this heater is, yes, it pumps out a good amount of hot air, which can heat up a room very quickly, but the entire unit, even the area around the actual vents, do not get hot. So unlike a traditional heater, you can have this around pets or kids and not have to worry about them burning themselves on any hot surfaces. I even had a Dyson heater before that was mostly cool, but there was about a 2-inch area around the fan opening that got very hot and could easily burn you. But again, this one is completely safe. I could touch this everywhere and there are no hot areas. All right, so taking a look at the app, this is what it looks like. As you can see up top, it shows you your air quality, and then over here you have your power on and off button. Going into that, you have a few more details. You have your temperature, humidity. Right here you have your chart, which will tell you your air levels. You have your fan speed control. You have your temperature control, so when you have it set lower, it'll be on fan. When you put the temperature higher, it'll go to heater. You have your wind direction, so you have off, follow, 45, 90, and 180. Right here you have your different modes. If you click on this, it'll explain to you what every mode does. So if you want a little more details, go ahead and pause the video and read over those. Down here you have a timer, and then you have your filter life. So one thing I noticed is these filters have a longer life compared to most other air purifiers. Usually most last about a year, but as you can see, this one has 720 days, so you won't have to replace this till about 2 years, something like that. And another nice touch is here you have indoor information, and over here you have outdoor information. So if your outdoor air temperature is bad, that's when it'll show you the comparison. But right now, as you can see, the air is excellent in my area. And diving into settings, you have a few things in here you can adjust. First off, with device settings, you can set your temperature unit from Celsius to Fahrenheit. You have your time zone, you have your device location, so it can grab the outside weather information. You have advanced timers, so you can set this to turn on or off when you want it to do that, and you can also set what days you want it to do that as well. So pretty cool that you can program this. Like I said earlier, similar to auto mode, you can have this turn on and on when you want it to, and once you have it programmed, you don't ever have to worry about it again. You have human sensing settings. It says right here, after activation, if human movement is detected within 2 meters for 5 seconds, the device will power on automatically. Again, it'll take care of itself and you don't have to worry about it, so you can turn that on or off. You have your voice command, and you can also turn that on or off as well. Here you have your 2 different filters. So one of them needs to be replaced in 360 days, and the other one, like I said, lasts about 2 years. And then you have firmware upgrades. So with upgrades, they will improve things, whether that be how the unit acts or the app experience. And I did have an update when I got this. So overall, a simple but very easy to use and helpful app. Most of the times I like controlling things while I'm sitting down. So if you're someone who doesn't want to use voice, everybody always has their phone next to them. Just go ahead and open up the app and you can go ahead and turn it off and control all the settings right here. And last but not least, this does have a built-in voice assistant. So instead of getting up to use the remote or using the app, you can also stay seated and easily control it with your voice instead. Hello, Dreame. Set to fan speed 1.
Fan speed set to level 1.
Overall, this is definitely a great air purifier. It feels well made, it's packed with a ton of features, and most importantly, it actually does a great job at purifying the air. All in all, if you happen to be shopping for an air purifier, I would highly recommend this one here, which again is the Dreame AirPersue PM20 purifier. If you would like to purchase or get more information, I'll also have the link in the description as well. Alright, well that about wraps up this video. As usual, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop me a comment and let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.